Good evening, Lord of the Rings collectors. I am back to do not one, but two reviews just to annoy you. One of 1500, two of 1500. And you might be wondering why I've got so many of these. It's just because I'm greedy. No, I'm kidding. Basically, I placed my order with Castle Kon, who has been my trusted supplier for the last few years, because he's always looked after me. And again, he has delivered on that promise and done an amazing job. So basically, what happens when you place an order with him is you can request him to send photos, but he will always check everything he sends to make sure there are no problems with it. He did the same thing with this helmet, but unfortunately for me, we had a delivery driver who I swear to God doesn't like me because I've had a few issues with him, and he ended up snapping the tip. Basically, at no cost to me at all, Castle Kon has organised this one to be sent to me within a week. So it's arrived super quickly because it was all insured and all covered, and there have been no problems with that at all. So going into the differences, which was really interesting to learn, you might notice that the pinks on this one shine through a bit more than they do on this one. Which is something that is much more accurate to the movies and gives it a much more stunning sort of rose gold look, rose gold on platinum sort of look, which I really like. Now, another few differences are these. So you might notice that this one's quite straight. And then again up here, this is quite triangular. And despite the tip being snapped off, again, this is quite straight. Coming over to the other helmet, this one looks a bit more rustic, so it's got a much more authentic feel to it in the sense that if this was really cast in metal, these are the sorts of differences you would notice because, you know, that looks much more like how metal sort of casts. I don't know if you've got much experience with that sort of thing, but in my experience from what I've seen, metal castings look much more like that in terms of how they generally end up. This has also got a bit of a difference to it in that it's not the same straight triangle, but again, I really like the rustic look about it. Additionally, because here in Australia where I am, we get days that are over 40 degrees Celsius, which is I'm just going to say Fahrenheit is wrong, you guys, and I don't know if it's metric or imperial, I always get them confused, but you know, your miles, and you just use the common math systems that the rest of the world use and stop confusing us. But yeah, basically because of the temperature changes, 40 degrees Celsius is like a million degrees Fahrenheit, at least. So yeah, it ended up warping a little bit, but I can fix that with a hairdryer later, which is relatively easy. Now, I won't wear these, despite it being quite comfortable and having that nice protective chin strapping. I did try to wear them in several other videos I took today, but, you know, it's hard for me to... I really have to try and formulate the perfect review, which this one won't be, but we'll get there anyway. So yeah, they've got quite a long thing and a very long tip. Now, the main reason I don't want to wear these around the house is because one, they're just too much of a piece of fine art, and two, I'm 6'9", and I don't know if you noticed, but my house has these curved sort of things to it, so I really don't want to risk damaging it. Again, it is adding to some beautiful pieces over here. Aomir's is just stunning. I love the bases too. Like that's the other thing that I'd like to point out is these bases are such an improvement on the old wooden ones that just have a sticker because they really get the effect that the helmet is on an elf's neck or on Aomir's neck. Same with the Sauron helmet. You can see he's over there with his little lightsaber and his little gauntlets and stuff. And then I got Gimli's over there. The left and right two Aomir's and Sauron's I got from Castle Kon as well as most of my stuff. The Gimli helm I got from a good friend who's in the group. Now, as I said, I won't try and wear these ones today just because I don't want to risk damaging them. I like them too much. They're just too beautiful. But I will show you one that I am wearing. So this one is a vinyl Wicked Replicas helmet that I got from Phil Klein, who runs Rivendell Forge in the group. The reason I'll wear this one is because you'll notice that this is a bit more flexible. So I'm not going to be worried about if I hit this on something, it's going to be fine. The other thing is I can also wear my glasses comfortably on this one, whereas whenever I have to try and put the resin ones on, because they're not as flexible as the vinyl, I can't wear my glasses with it. So it doesn't quite like me on that front. Not that any elves had glasses, but I mean, it's just a comfort thing, you know? So yeah, get them while they're hot because they won't last. We're already past the halfway mark. Again, I don't know many of the other sellers because I have had way too good of an experience with Castle Kon, and I'm going to continue to do that because, again, at no cost to me at all, he sent this one within a week, and he's organised everything in terms of the claim and the insurance side of things. All I had to do was send him a couple of photos, and that's all been completely sorted for me. He is the most trusted seller as far as I'm concerned. I've never heard a bad word about him, and I doubt I ever will because he's just an amazing human. So yeah, get them from Castle Kon, and yeah, get them while they're hot because again, they will not last. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to post them on the thing, and I will just be sitting here wearing helmets and admiring helmets. Have a nice day, guys.